You recently signed an agreement with Pyth Network.
Yep.
So obviously this is stepping into the DeFi world. My understanding is this is very much about the crypto market data.
Yeah.
But how do you see that deal feeding into the fiat space? And what are those nuances between market data delivery to Pyth Network and to a pricing engine in FX?
Yeah, so look, if you'll bear with me for a little bit, I'll just go my view of DeFi and how we can straddle the two. So it might take a minute or two. So decentralized finance, it's hot at the moment. All the youngsters have things on their phone like MetaMask. I have it. I don't profess to understand everything. We're staking some coins. I'm just trying to learn as an individual, actually. So what do I think about decentralized finance? I think it's going to play into capital markets. I think there's a lot of traditional capital markets will benefit from DeFi. Now, one of the simplest things is imagine a scenario where you can put your own personal balance sheet or an institution can put their balance sheet on the blockchain and they can put their assets to work. So literally, you happen to have dollars in your bank account for 8 hours during the day. It's earning you no money. No one pays you interest for 8 hours. In decentralized finance, you can put that to work. Someone said, actually, I wouldn't mind borrowing those dollars for 8 hours. Will you pay me? I'll pay you X% for it. That's good. So you imagine everyone's balance sheets up there. Now, those balance sheets can be anything. They don't have to be money. So it's this tokenization of asset idea. So you might lend me, because you've come over to see your mum, you might lend me your house in Sydney, and I'll say, well, actually, I'll lend you my office, Colin, in London for when you're here. And you go, well, how do we value that? And you say, well, look, we're just going to do it in a smart contract in decentralized finance. So what's the key to that? David, how are we going to value it? Now the penny's starting to drop.
The key to it is looking at my wine collection.
Correct. That's right. I'm not a big fan of Australian wine. But the key thing there is, how do we value those assets? Now, it could be a euro or it could be a house or a flat. So let's bring it back to capital markets. The future, in my opinion, is that we trade S&P Bitcoin. We trade Bitcoin Tesla. We can trade any asset against any asset. And again, back to where we started, on a 24/7 basis. But the beauty of decentralized finance is it's all tokenized. It's on a smart contract. And you should never actually be on a margin call. So you don't need that, because the smart contract is valuing this asset. So you need a way of valuing it. All of a sudden, the status quo, dare I say it, LMAX Group can play a part. LMAX Exchange, which is a centralized exchange. We're not decentralized. So what do? We're pretty good at market data. So we have pretty good foreign exchange market data. So I contribute it to what they call an oracle, which is the Pyth Foundation and the Pyth Network. I just stream prices. That means that any smart contract that has a euro or a peso or an Aussie dollar leg of it, they can be sure that that's valued correctly.
Right.
And then likewise, I can contribute prices for Bitcoin and for Ethereum. And if you go to the property example, so the biggest estate agents in the world will just stream in a value of a house that looks like this, maybe once a day. So the valuation of the asset class, the valuation of the asset is key for decentralized finance to work. So we're really excited about it. I'm really excited to be part of it. It's at early stages, Colin. So the goal is that becomes the oracle, this source of market data in capital markets. There's a lot of big names involved. It's not just LMAX. There's a lot of big trading firms involved. I know there's large exchanges coming, because currently they have the best market data in traditional capital markets, and maybe they can see the valuation of assets in the new capital markets, which is DeFi.